have to say it sounds like a dream. A house full of magic that, at least in theory, you could train to be self-cleaning. Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kat, and today I would like to talk about The Keeper of Enchanted Rooms by Charlie and Holmberg, the first book in the Whimbrel House series. In this, Merritt Fernsby inherits, to his great surprise, a house by his grandmother, which is odd as he is estranged from his whole family. He is thrilled at the idea of having a remote place to himself to write his novels though, so he sets out and visits the place. He finds the house in an amazing condition given that nobody has lived there for over a century, and as soon as he sets foot into the house, it becomes clear why. It's full of magic and traps him inside. Only the unexpected arrival of Hulda Larkin, an employee of the Boston Institute for the Keeping of Enchanted Rooms, saves him from dying of hunger in this house, I suppose. She moves in to figure out what the source of the magic for this house is and to maintain it, because magical places are rare at that point in history. Soon there's more than just magic in the air and feelings run high, but there's also a threat coming from the outside that could ruin it all. One half of this book is pretty much about the love story, and the other half is the threat from outside and the investigation into what the source of magic for this house is. I obviously preferred the investigation and magical threat part, but overall enjoyable either way. At the very beginning of the book you get an overview of what kinds of magic there are, but even so, even after you've read what kinds there are and what repercussions they have, that doesn't mean you know what any given person can do, because one person might just have access to a single spell of a single school of magic, if you will. And also magic has been watered down over the centuries, because if you don't have two wizards having offspring together, then magic gets weaker through the generations. So while there's still a lot to learn about this magic system, and I have questions, none of them get in the way of enjoying the story. Now, what wasn't clear to me from the blurb was that at least 50% of this book is about a love story between Hulda and Merritt, which started out sweet and then went really hard on some of the tropes, like people overhearing the exact wrong thing and just the overall romance thing, I think, with just not communicating, because God forbid you just say what you mean or you just say something in general. No, we can't have that in a romance novel, and yeah. Well, I'm not a romance reader, so this part was not really for me. Even though I liked the characters and really wanted to see them together just so that they're both happy, because both of them carry around wounds from their past, quite big wounds and points, and you get to see the story from both Merritt's and Hulda's perspective, and at times I just wanted to hug both of them because I felt so sorry for them and because the world has been so mean to them. Still, when it comes to the inevitable tiff between the lovers, someone was quite a dick in that, and not sure we needed that. I liked all of the characters, including the house. It has quite some character and personality as well. And like I said before, most of the time I wanted to hug them, but sometimes they deserved a slap too. Overall, this book was fairly humorous, including a dining table eating a wallet and the socks in the sink that are just such an outrage to Hulda. There were quite a few points in the book where I had to chuckle, and it's quite fun. The writing was beautiful and served the story really well, with the exception of the expression "she rolled her lips together." I get what it's trying to say, but it shows up way too often. So when we reach the climax of the love story, or the final "oh my god, they won't get together" point, thankfully the other part of the story steps onto the gas and the threat from outside and the more magic part of the story takes over, which I was really grateful for, because yeah, well, just too much romance for me. But since the will they get together or not should not be a problem for the next book, I'm really looking forward to that. You can already pre-order it, and I have. Because I liked most of the characters so much that I will just keep reading this. But I'm still hoping that the next one will be less hard on the romance, or, I mean, if we get to see this happy couple flirting or whatever, it's like, well, fine, okay. Go into wedding preparations or whatever, it's fine. As long as I don't have to sit through more of the, oh, they have issues because they refuse to communicate. Yeah, because I really don't need more of that. Since I pretty much enjoyed this from beginning to end, I think it deserves this cat and a paw. And I look forward to next year, I think April, when the second book comes out. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to help this channel out. And let me know in the comments what your favorite novel with magic set in Victorian times is. I'll be back next week with another video. Bye folks!